Hello, this is Alex. Welcome to Socialism Survival Podcast. This time I'm recording a little bit differently. Instead of home studio, it is my portable Zoom H4 recorder. I hope it turns out in good quality. This is podcast number 14 and the last one in the year 2009. As each my podcast is posted on Mondays, it means that next one will be number 15 on January 4th, 2010. Therefore, I use my last chance to wish you Happy New Year. I hope everything to get better in 2010, and I hope for a change from socialism back to capitalism. Today is just short but very important podcast, as it is dedicated to you, my listeners. Let me first do my virtual community organizing before we move on. If you never visited my website, here is the address, socialismsurvival.com. There are many ways you can connect with me if you'd like to. Here is the address again, socialismsurvival.com. I will spell it socialismsurvival.com. socialismsurvival.com. There are many new podcasts coming in the new year. So please tune again and don't forget to share this podcast as New Year gift with your family and friends. This podcast is yours, my listeners. It means that I'd like to start it with your messages. I have few messages that I received from you and I would like to read them. Here is one from my Facebook friend Nancy. She writes, "Thanks. I did check out your blog. It is very interesting. I like your material. Just this evening, I was trying to recall the quote you have on your sidebar. The Pastor Martin Niemöller quote. That is where I see this country going, unfortunately. Thanks. I appreciate all the counter-revolutionaries who are doing the Lord's work. We are many. Thank you, Nancy. I am definitely on the Lord's side, and I will do everything possible to get more people there." Another message is from Virginia, who lives in Florida. She writes, "Hello, Alex. I received an iPod for my birthday in October and started listening to your show. I was born in a communist country also, Cuba, and I am very aware of what communism is and what it does. I want to thank you for taking your message out to our American friends. I would contribute also to spreading the message, so I started writing a fictitious novel. It is a lot of work, writing. Your messages are very important, and I hope more people listen before the next elections. Thank you again." Thank you, Virginia, for writing and contributing to spreading this message. We need to unite socialism/communism survivors from different countries, and I'm open to let the truth spoken by other survivors be heard on this podcast. One more message, actually, part of it, I'd like to quote here. It's from Chris in Louisiana. "Alex, I am fascinated by your story. I have just recently started studying socialism and communism and have become very fearful, for I see now all that you are stating. Most importantly, I see many people that don't. I truly believe that your message needs to be heard. I wish to offer my help." Thank you, Chris. I really wanted to express my appreciation for your help in spreading this message as much as I can without asking permission to tell more about you. I just want my audience to know that there are people who are doing something great for the success of this podcast, while we have as our common goal the success of freedom in America. Thanks to everyone who contacted me and expressed their support and encouragement. Now, I'd like to move to my second part of this podcast and share with you some basic points or principles of socialism survival. Of course, I'm talking about us to survive, not socialism, although I could talk a lot why socialism survived so far. But our survival of socialism is more important now. Please keep in mind that the order I put these points is solely mine. It can be different for you, and I'll remind you that again later. First is the knowledge. And that is why this podcast exists. To give you and your family the knowledge about socialism, its strong and weak sides, its tactics and manipulations to advance in capturing and controlling peoples and territories. Although in different context, but I like the passage from the Bible, Hosea chapter 4 verse 6, where God says, "My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge." Actually, knowledge is needed to have faith in God, because faith comes from hearing of the Word of God, shared by someone with the knowledge of that Word. Therefore, number 2 on my list is faith in God. As I already shared with you in previous podcasts, faith helped people to endure and withstand in the midst of fierce persecutions. Soviet Communist Party First Secretary Nikita Khrushchev, who continued persecutions of believers, promised to show the last believer in 1970s. While he himself died in 1971, faith in God survived not only him, but all Soviet socialistic system. By the time of Soviet Union collapse in 1991, there were more believers in USSR than when Khrushchev died. American socialists, they know that true faith in God is more powerful than all their ideology. That's why they are continuously attacking Bible and those who believe in God and His Word. Next to our relationship with God, as number 3 on my survival list, I put human relationships. It includes family relations, friendship, neighbor-to-neighbor relations, and membership in faith-based groups, like churches, synagogues. Whether it was church or other kind of congregation, people helped each other building houses and basements. I'm talking about USSR. Planting gardens and harvesting crops, watching children, offering food and money to the needy. As it was true to all close human relationships in Soviet Union, I believe it is still and will be true everywhere people are or will be oppressed by socialism. There is one more thing that I like to share with you while I'm talking about human relations, and it is the word blood. It could be translated as favor with specific Soviet flavor. How it worked? Let's say, for example, to survive Russian winter, Peter needs to buy a warm leather coat. Of course, he wakes up early in the morning, and before store opens, he takes his legs and money to the store, where he finds out that 10 coats just arrived to the store, and 100 people already in line to buy it. Well, they obviously woke up even earlier. It probably reminds you of Black Friday. Well, we had Black Fridays every day in the USSR. Okay, disappointed, Peter is about to leave when he sees Maria, his neighbor's granddaughter, walking to the store. "Hi, Maria, I'm Peter, your grandma's neighbor. Do you remember me?" "Good morning, Peter. Of course I remember you. Grandma can't stop talking about you fixing her roof. Thanks for helping her. Any time, Maria. Are you here so early to buy something? No, Peter. This is my work. I'm supervisor in this store. Do you need something? Yes. Winter is coming. I need new leather coat. But look how many people here, and I've heard there are only 10 coats. Don't worry, Peter. Come back at noon. I may have one of your size. Noontime. Huge crowd is gone when Peter returns to the store. Maria takes him to back office, where she opens 2 more doors, and they end up in a large fitting room, twice the size of the one in the store. 5 new coats and other stuff draw Peter's attention. American jeans? You have it too? Well, sometimes. This pair was left for Communist Party boss' teenage daughter. Next time we'll get more, and I will save for you too. Try this coat. Perfect. Thank you, Maria. Let me know if I may be of any help to you too. In 10 minutes, Peter walks out of the store, happy owner of new leather coat. Now he is ready to survive many winters in his life, thanks to blood. Blood worked not only when buying something, but to get good job or pay raise or to go up on professional or partisan ladder. Number 4 on my list is self-sufficiency. Here I have 3 subcategories: A. Skills, B. Production, C. Storage. It includes growing fruits, vegetables, raising various poultry for meat, eggs, and feather, raising cattle, goats for meat, milk, and leather, sheep for all above plus wool, hunting, beekeeping, construction, carpentry, tailoring, shoemaking and repair, cutting hair, mechanic skills. All are important for self-sufficient lifestyle. Although Soviet system didn't allow people to own land, we still were allowed to have permanent rent of land from government, where we could build a house and grow our own food. My father was good gardener, barber, and shoe fixer. Having 7 boys and 2 girls, he saved a lot of money simply by cutting our hair and repairing our shoes. Mom would resize our shirts and pants and even fix holes on our socks. My grandpa was also a good gardener, plus he was beekeeper, burki maker. That's the word for felt boots with leather soles, popular in Soviet villages. And he was known in people's medicine as someone who knew how to prepare various healing ointments using herbs and bee products. Everyone in our family participated in growing food and then in preserving it. Potatoes, carrots, beets were stored on basement floor, while shelves were filled with glass jars. Almost everything was preserved in these jars. 1/2 and 1 liter jars were used mostly for jams, fruit, purees, juices. Larger, like 2 and 3 liter jars, were used for whole fruits and berries, tomatoes, cucumbers, shredded cabbage, various mixed vegetable salads, and even meat. Self-sufficiency in food meant for us to have enough stored food to get to next harvest. Of course, not only food had to be stored in sufficient amounts, but many other things like coal for heating and cooking in the house during cold season, nails, wood, plywood, pipes, and other things for emergency fixes. Such thing like producing own energy, although was absolutely impossible for us there, but if available here, would be great for self-sufficiency, as well as staying debt-free and having enough cash or other means of exchange for emergency situations. Having big family with low income, my parents never borrowed money. On the contrary, our neighbors often came to my dad asking to borrow some cash from him for a week or even 1 or few months, and he never demanded interest from his borrowers. Fifth principle or point I would put this way: forget socialism and its ideology as much as you can, even if you are in the midst of it. What it means? It means live your life full of interests that are important to you. While living through socialism, I loved listening to shortwave radio, tuning into capitalistic and religious stations. I was reading a lot of books, wrote my own stories and poetries, listened to music, composed my own music, played guitar and sang songs, collected stamps, coins, and even chewing gum from different countries. As teenagers, we loved to have a company of friends, getting together, sharing music, playing games like soccer, ping pong, checkers, telling jokes and funny stories. Shortly saying, entertainment. We loved visiting our grandparents in the village, playing there in the field, fishing, swimming in the river. Let me say this: hard-working, self-sufficient person or family need to switch sometimes from work to something else and relax. Even being oppressed by socialistic regime, own your life as much as you can. That's what I did. When they wanted me to read their books, I read the books of my choice. When they wanted me to sing their songs, I sang my songs. When they wanted me to believe in communism, I kept believing in my God. When they wanted me to laugh at their jokes that mocked capitalists, priests, Jews, I laughed at jokes about stupidity of socialism, its communist ideology, and short-minded party leaders. Well, it's actually time for some Soviet entertainment. Today I have few Soviet anecdotes for you. Here is first one. Soviet sparrow flew over the border to the west. Is it so bad with food in Russia? Asks Western sparrow. No, they have plenty. Nowhere you'll find so much grain on the ground as in Russia. So, why you didn't stay there? I wanted badly to chirp. Brezhnev invited cosmonauts to his office. Comrades, Americans landed on the moon. We decided you will fly to the sun. But, Tоварищ Brezhnev, we'll burn. Don't worry, comrades. Our party took care of everything. You'll fly at night. Soviet collective farm. All cows wear muzzles. Are they biting? No, eating too much. Judge comes out from the court, laughing. Why are you laughing? He is asked. I've heard anecdote there. Tell us, so we could laugh. No, I can't. I just sentenced to 10 years someone who told it. All right, it's time to round up. Whatever didn't fit in this podcast will have its continuation in the future. Maybe for someone, as I said before, the order of survival points should be different. And I'm okay with that. Most important is to have all of them activated in your life. And I hope that coming year 2010 will be the year of activation. If you are wondering why I didn't talk about resistance against socialism, please look deeper into these points and you'll see it there. You'll be in active resistance to socialism, gaining knowledge, believing in God, maintaining relationships and living self-sufficient life instead of relying on socialistic government system. And when socialism will rot again from inside, as it was in Soviet Union, it will collapse. Again, I say that assuming socialism is already here, you think it is not? Then do something to prevent it. That's all, folks. Thank you for listening to Socialism Survival Podcast. This is Alex, wishing few Americans listening now Happy New Year.